We're still talking about the real sector and value addition, also sourcing raw materials domestically. Now, let's speak to the Managing Director of Sasoli Industries here. He is Mr. J. Prakash Changrani, joins us virtually from Lagos. Mr. Changrani, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
So your company, you're a manufacturer, you're into fillers, additive, and calcium carbonate. And we are talking a whole lot now about sourcing for raw materials from the domestic front, especially when we look at the challenge of FX availability, or at least adequate FX availability. How has that been for you, getting domestic raw materials?
Let me start from the beginning. Sasoli Industrial Company, we were actually importing plastic master batches. Now, these plastic master batches are the colors used for all the plastic products to give them the colors, namely like chairs or tables or sacks or shopping bags. So the plastic raw material is actually a colorless product. So to make it colorful, you need the product called plastic master batches. Now we were importing them, and we were just bringing 10 to 12 different colors. Then we decided why not we start producing these plastic master batches in Nigeria itself. Because we have the employment growth to be done here, and we have the facility, we have the infrastructure and all that. So we started this 2010, 2011. Now, so we started producing them locally in Lagos, Nigeria. And we are proud to say that we can produce international quality products here in Nigeria. To showcase that Nigeria can also produce quality products, we exhibited Made in Nigeria product in one of the biggest trade fair, which happens in Düsseldorf, Germany. And that happens every 3 years, and that is the biggest trade fair, where more than 150 different countries exhibit and the visitors come. Now, we were the only manufacturer, not from Nigeria, but from whole of West Africa, exhibiting our products there. And that we have been starting to exhibit from 2013. Then again 2016, 2019, and post-COVID 2022. Then again we are going to exhibit this in 2025. I can tell you my first experience in 2013, that one of the Nigerian, he was passing through our booth, and we always keep a Nigerian flag on the booth. When he saw that, he really literally cried and said that I have never seen a Nigerian flag in one of the biggest exhibition. So that was the passion for Made in Nigeria product. Now, this has actually helped the economy. Now we can say that we are into this for nearly 15 years. And we started with plastic master batches. Right now, we have nearly 2,000 different shades of the colors which are used in plastic industries. We are serving to the whole nation. Not only in Nigeria, we are also exporting to Ghana, to Togo, to Cotonou, to Cameroon. And we have plastic colors, we have white master batches, we have black master batches, we have fillers.
All right.
White.
Mr. Shangar, yes. I just want to know, because we're here trying to preach the message of not exporting raw materials and actually sourcing for more raw materials from the domestic front. How easy or difficult is it, or was it, for you to switch and to stick to actually having a total 100% raw materials from Nigeria?
Um, See, for plastic color master batches, as Nigeria doesn't produces the pigments, which are the colors, so we only import the pigments, which is nearly, you can say, 25 to 30% of the end product. Earlier, it was the 100% which was being imported. So now we can say that it is only 25% we are importing. So 75% is locally procured, that is the plastic raw material. And while producing this master batches, we were also importing calcium carbonate from Turkey and Egypt. Now, that also we have started producing locally. So we are trying to minimize the imports of the raw material by sourcing locally in Nigeria so that we can save on the foreign exchange uses. Rather, we also export, so we gain the foreign exchange also. So we are trying to be more independent on the FX.
So, what's the hurdle to producing these pigments you talked about that makes up about 25%, which you import? What's the hurdle of import or actually producing it here in Nigeria? Are there some things that we do not have in the country?
The countries which are producing pigments are mostly India and China, and it is a huge investment required and the chemicals required to be put in place to get that kind of pigments. But not only that, you need to have those kind of industries which can use these pigments. Namely, like we are not producing all the type of plastic master batches because we do not have the automobile industry where those kind of plastic master batches can be used, and we do not have so many advanced like white good manufacturing facilities like refrigerators or TVs and all that. So, these plastic master batches cannot be used. So, what we are producing plastic master batches is only for the household items, for the shopping bags, for raffia bags, which are used for grain industry or cement industries and all that. So that the huge market is not there to produce the pigments over here.
Yeah, okay. So the industrials are those who can do a huge consumption of that. But I mean, I'm glad to hear that at least you are doing 75% of domestic raw materials. That's encouraging. But I would like to get your assessment. We hear the government talk a whole lot about the ease of doing business, boosting non-oil export. Would you say that the government is putting his mouth where his money is when it comes to actually implementing these policies so that business people like you, manufacturers like you, can increase your production and export?
Yeah, I can see there is a positive response and the direction of the policies which are being placed. Namely, number one, we can say that at least the exchange rate is a little bit, you can say, is stable, which is a very important thing. When we are manufacturing, you cannot keep on changing the prices. Namely, not like trading where you keep on changing the prices as per the market supply and demand. In manufacturing, it has to be stable. So that is one positive direction we can see, which is helping. Number two, in certain policies like earlier, the pigments which we were importing was having the similar import duty, and even the finished good which we are producing, which is called master batches, also were having similar duties. So to support manufacturers like us who are employing nearly 300 direct workers, we had to find the solution where we discourage the importation of the goods. So there has to be a difference between the raw material which we are using and the finished goods which we are producing. The import duties has to be different. It can be double, or the levy has to put. So which is not actually happening now. So that support we need from the government for the manufacturers.
And what would you say about intra-African trade? We're preaching that message now, trying to increase interaction within Africa. How much of your export do you do with African countries?
Frankly speaking, it is just a fraction of the percentage, because Nigeria is a huge country, and whatever we used to produce is been supplied locally. But now with the new project which we have started of calcium carbonate, and that will help us to export more. So the support which we need from the government for the export is that it should give the system, or it should make the system so easy that we can export. See, basically we are trying together to the government to gain the foreign exchange. So for that, we need the support for easy cross-border or documentation for us to encourage gain more effects, which I think we are lacking. We should have that support for exports. This is the target which we are focusing from this 2025 to export more.
I wonder if you know about the AfCFTA, Africa Free Trade Area, and conversations going on around there. They said there's some goodies that are supposed to encourage, intra-African trade.
Yes, of course, we have the certificate also of which is called ETLS, in which the ECOWAS countries do not pay the import duty if they are buying within the ECOWAS countries. Yes, it is there, but the process of the export, it should be more smoother. Sometimes the ship reaches Ghana within 3 days, but the documents take nearly 2 weeks to reach the place, which is what we have to look into.
Yeah, because I had a conversation with an official of AfCFTA, and they told me that, it's quite smooth. You just reach out to the secretariat and all of that. So have you brought this to their attention, and did you get any positive reaction?
Well, we are, as I said, that we are focusing more this year on the export, because we have access capacity, and we are seeing some positive responses. But practically, we are going to start more on the export from this year.
And then we know that Nigeria is trying to battle inflation, so interest rate has been increased. How is that affecting access to funding? You're laughing.
I know, we were lucky to also get some, new project loans, which was a positive sign for the country, for the government to show that they are looking into more and more manufacturing, units coming up. So we are getting. I can say that there is a positive response from the government.
Well, it's good to see you laugh, Mr. Changrani, and to hear you, have those positive perspective. And I hope more manufacturers have that experience. That would be really good for us. But we need to thank you so much for being a part of the program this morning. The Managing Director of Sasoli Industries, Mr. Jayaprakash Changrani, thank you for your time, and wish you the best of the rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.